Welcome, everyone. My name is Sarah R. Turnquist, and it is my privilege to serve as the coordinator for this year's Kentucky Christian Writers Conference 2026. It's our 30th anniversary, everybody.
Yeah.
And we are here with another fabulous interview for you.
Yes. My name is Cindy Smith, and I am the faculty chair for this year's conference. And I am excited to introduce our keynote speaker, Tez Brooks. Hi, Tez. Welcome.
Hey,
Hi,
Cindy.
Tez.
Sarah, how are you?
We're good.
We're doing great. And Tez, we are so glad that you're here with us today. Can you start off by telling us a little bit about yourself, where you're hailing from, and maybe what you like to do for fun?
Yeah. So currently, my wife and I live in Colorado, but I originally grew up in the Detroit area and then moved down to Florida to go to Bible college. And I was there probably 36 years. So Colorado, even though we've been here about 7 or 8 years, I'm still getting used to the cold weather, the long winters. But yeah, I'll be coming to you from Colorado.
Yeah. I like to say we talk over each other quite a bit, but I love about Florida that there's really just the two seasons, hot and not as hot. That's what I like to say. But yes, definitely the seasons.
The wintertime's beautiful. It's like Hawaii, but the summers, one of the reasons we moved out to Colorado, not just because of the mountains. I'm more of a mountain guy than an ocean guy, but it was beautiful not having to deal with hurricanes and alligators and mosquitoes. But, you trade that for forest fires and mountain lions and bears. And so no matter
Wow.
Colorado is beautiful. My in-laws, after my father-in-law retired from the Air Force, they moved to the Denver area and were there for, I think, almost 20 years. Now they're in Texas, but I loved visiting them in Colorado and doing all the mountain stuff. I love the mountains. So
maybe when I get a New York Times bestseller, I can have a house in Colorado and one in Florida. So I can escape the winters and the summers, go back and forth.
I knew a man that was a ski instructor. So he did winter year round. So he would be in Colorado for our winters, and then he would go to south, to the southern hemisphere in I think somewhere in Peru, anyway, in South America, and he would ski year round. And that's just a little too much cold for me.
Yeah.
I know you have a lot going on with your nonfiction work and your mission stuff and speaking and coaching. But what is your favorite thing about the writing life?
Favorite thing about the writing life? Well, you're going to laugh at this, but finishing, I have the to-do list that I have, the research and then the editing and the editing again, and then paying someone to edit and, figuring out a design for the front cover if you're doing self-publishing, or if you're traditional publishing, they have a whole list for you there. So I am that type of person where I love to check off boxes. And so that's my favorite thing is, look, I moved forward. Oh, look, I moved another step. So checking off the boxes, but that's more of a funny thing. Really what I love is teaching. I love teaching writers what I've learned after all these years of being in the literary industry. I didn't realize that I loved teaching so much until I started teaching about writing. And so I think that's probably one of my favorite things.
Oh, that's awesome.
And now I actually have met Tez before. Years ago, we were in the same Word Weavers group, and you do quite a bit of work with Word Weavers International. What got you started with that particular organization?
Yeah, it's a friend. After my wife and I had been assigned as missionaries in Australia, we had moved back to the US with our little girls, and I just was dabbling in writing a little bit. And a friend of mine said, you should check out Word Weavers International. I'm like, what is that? I'd been to a few critique groups that were non-Christian, and it just really turned me off. There was a lot of putting each other down and lifting yourself up. And yeah. And then there was the whole problem with erotica, and stuff. I just like, no, I'm never going to go to another critique group. And they said, no, this is a Christian critique group. They're very grace-filled critiques, and you have great community. And so I gave it a try. I visited a few times, and then I joined as a member. And boy, they have been very instrumental in just helping my career in writing to just excel. When I win an award, I can always trace it right back to my Word Weavers group. And so it's been it's been over a decade, probably 2 decades now. And I've led I've been a president of a couple different in-person local chapters. And also, like Sarah was saying, we had an online group, and I still have that online group. And I just love the community and the help and how, because you're rubbing shoulders with, best-selling authors and editors, and it's just a really great group to get involved with. So that's my commercial for Word Weavers.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
absolutely. And I would totally second that. I mean, I got to rub shoulders with Mr. Tez Brooks, right? and he spoke into my writing and prayed over my writing. And so I'm going to second that commercial for Word Weavers International for sure.
Yeah.
It's such a good deal too, because there's a membership of, I think it's $55 a year. But when you go to do, I mean, if you look at a critique and the pricing for that, for one person to give you a critique, it's over $100 for 1,500 words. And here you're getting 6 critiques a month of 1,500 words. And it's, I'm like, that is such a deal. It's just an incredible organization. I really love them.
Yeah.
And it sounds like Word Weavers also wants to encourage you to be a better writer, to be the best that you could. They're wanting the best for you. Like you said earlier, they're not trying to cut you down or put themselves forward.
Right. And they have a reputation. When publishers hear that you're a Word Weaver, they kind of put you on the top of the stack. Like,
okay.
Yeah. So I would encourage any writer who's listening to this and to check out Word-Weavers. It's a dash between the 2 words, and just check out their website.
Yeah, and that's a very reasonable price to join. That's a very reasonable price.
Yeah.
Yeah. You are going to be our keynote speaker this year, and I'm really excited to hear what you're going to share with us. This is your second time speaking at KCWC. You did our virtual one a couple of years ago, and now you're going to be in person. So what did you like best about being part of KCWC, and did anything stand out to you in particular about that conference?
Yeah, 2 things. First, I immediately felt like family. It was an all new group of people, and I was way out here in the West. Well, I had been on the East Coast, but mostly Florida and up the coast. I had never been to the Kentucky Christian Writers Conference, let alone taught at one. And so there's that apprehension of, okay, what's the staff like? What is the faculty like? Even the feel of the conference, because each conference is a little different. One thing that sticks out is I immediately felt like family, and not just because I knew Sarah already. I mean, everybody was just like I'd known them for years. So I loved that. And then second, probably the spiritual element. Sorry, I get emotional when I talk about the Lord, but I could see Jesus in everybody. And I felt that immediately, that element that, man, these people love the Lord, and they're integrating him into all of their lectures, and and they're praying people. And so that's what I'm most excited about, is being among God's people and just the Holy Spirit being with us.
I know exactly what you're saying. KCWC was actually the second writers conference I went to, and the first Christian writers conference I went to. I'd gone to a more general market one, and I felt the same way you did at the critique group, kind of. But when I walked into the auditorium at KCWC, we began with worship, but I just sat there and I was like, these are my people. I don't know them, but they are my people. Yeah. And I can totally relate to what you're saying. Yeah, and our theme this year is Anointed Ink, where calling meets craft, with a supporting passage of Psalm 45:1, which says, "My heart is moved by a noble theme as I recite my verses to the King. My tongue is the pen of a skillful writer."
Mm.
So, what do you think this particular theme means to you?
Yeah, I love that it addresses the heart. My heart is moved, because just like mine was a few seconds ago, um,
Mhm.
by the noble themes. But then, yeah, that we're reciting that to the King of Kings. We're writing the glorious wonders of the Lord, and publishing them throughout the world. And I just love that, and that's what I'm excited about to just share during one of my keynotes, um, how we can do that, and help the attendees walk away encouraged and excited about what God's giving them to write.
Mm.
Same time, this addresses being a skillful writer. So I
Mm,
just love that, we're working on our skill and our craft while still depending on God completely.
Yeah.
yeah.
That is one of the things that I really have loved about being part of the Kentucky Christian Writers Conference, is that component, because we are called, I think the people who come are being called to be writers, and we need to, God wants us to share his story of redemption through what we
Mhm.
write. Even if it's to Christian audience, they need to be
Yeah.
reminded of
Mhm.
the story of redemption. I one year read a book about how we need to, as Christians, remind ourselves of the gospel every day. And I think that
Mm.
that's what we're doing through the writing. So I love that. Uh, what makes a good keynote memorable, in your opinion?
Hmm. Yeah, I think walking away encouraged, when you can hear from the Lord. That's not just, oh, that was uplifting, or that was a very inspirational speech. But I think, yeah, just that you walk away, and the main thing, again, this is because it's a Christian conference, but I love when I hear a keynote that the main thing that's coming back to my mind is the Lord is in this. The Lord is with you. The
Mm.
Lord's in your corner. Um, Whether you're a new writer or you've published 20 books, that is a powerful keynote to me. And that's what I'm praying that the Lord gives me, and that people can walk away saying, you know what the Lord said, instead of, you know what Tez said. Yeah, I want them to really feel that,
Mm,
more than just, hey, Tez knows how to speak in front of people. That's
Mhm.
not why they're there.
yeah, I love
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, on the tail end of that, and this is one of the questions we ask all the faculty members, but how would you describe your speaking style or your teaching style? Is it more inspirational, interactive, a combination thereof?
Yeah, I love to make people laugh. So,
Mm,
there's funny, I try to be humorous, a bit whimsical, but there's always a huge God element.
Mhm.
And I come from a family of ministers. My three older brothers are all pastors. I'm the black sheep because I'm the missionary. But yeah, my dad was in ministry. I have missionaries, and I come from a very long line and a legacy of believers that were in ministry. And so whenever I speak or write or anything, there's always that God element. There's everything I do, every choice I make in life is centered around the Lord. And
Mhm.
so that's always a part of my keynotes. But yeah, I try to be
mhm,
funny, because that's who I am. And interactive sometimes, I'll just stop and say, what do you guys think about that? It's not
yeah.
like I'm just lecturing. So, and in the same way though, with when I teach a class, it's more interactive. But yeah, we'll see what God does. Sometimes he even gives me a word for somebody. So
Mhm.
Mm. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've shared a lot about already about what you want people to walk away from your keynote talks with. But is there anything in particular that you're hoping they walk away with? Like, one, if you could say this is the one thing I want them to walk away with, what would that be?
Yeah, I think I want them to walk away saying, you know what, I can do this, but I can't do this without the Lord. There's
Amen.
we can do nothing without the Lord. And so
Mm.
if they can walk away saying, because I know there's people that come to these conferences and they're overwhelmed and they see people who have published books and they're hearing all this new lingo and they're overwhelmed and they're thinking, I'm in the wrong crowd. This is not me. These guys are
Yeah.
professional. I am going to hang it up. This is, yeah. There's always people like that. And I want those folks to walk away saying, you know what? God brought me to this conference for a reason. It wasn't to hang it up. It's to improve my craft. And I may not be at a certain level from someone that I ate lunch with, but that doesn't matter because they were there at one time too. We all were.
Yeah.
I remember my first writers conference and I was feeling pretty like a very tiny baby fish in a big ocean.
Mm. Yeah.
And I walked away feeling like I'm still a little fish, but I'm in a pond. It's not. And so I can do this. And the Lord will move me to the ocean maybe one day. Yeah, so I want them to walk away saying, I can do this with the Lord's help.
Yeah. One of the things last year, we took a young lady with us to the Kentucky Christian Writers Conference, and it was her first Christian conference. And on the way home, she rode with my husband and I on our way back to Clarksville, and just her excitement for what she felt like God was showing her and how she was excited to finish her book and how, just that was so contagious. I haven't published my first novel. It's in the process. I self-edited it. Now I'm getting it to an editor and I'm getting my book cover done. But just to see that excitement, it makes me excited. It makes me feel like, okay, we are in this, we're linking arms together. And yes, you have your story to tell. I have my story to tell, but we're in this together. We're not alone writing. We're together. So yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
A community that's built around these conferences, it's priceless because you realize I am not alone. A bunch of people writing, and some of them are, they've been in it for years, and you start rubbing shoulders with people. And I love the way that those of us that have been in it for several years or decades, I remember meeting those people and thinking they're not going to want anything to do with me. They're not even going to want to eat lunch with me. You just sit and talk to you and ask you about your family. And then they're like, hey, I can introduce you to this editor, blah, blah, blah. Or
exactly.
Hey, you tried, you should pitch this to so-and-so. And I would just be like, why are you even bothering with me? And so I love that the Christian writers community is so helpful to one another. It's not like, hey, you're smaller than me, or it's a wonderful community. And that's another thing I love about it.
Yeah. And that leads us right into our last question for you. What is your favorite thing about writers' conferences in general? And why should maybe someone who's on the fence, why should someone sign up for a writers' conference?
Oh, wow. Well, for one thing, it really shows the rest of the community that you're serious about your writing. When you pitch to somebody, whether it's an agent or a publisher, just the very fact that you're there at that conference puts you way above the rest of the slush pile that they have to deal with when they go back home. They know you're serious about your craft. And so that whole networking, I think, is one of the things I love. Even today, I'm excited about getting to your conference because I'm going to meet some people. Networking's that word has got a bad rap because they think, oh, they're only in it for the networking and not relationship. No, that is relationship. Is you network with people and you build relationships with people that you would never have normally met.
Right.
And so I'm excited about that. And I think it just really helps to go to a Christian conference for writers because you're going to learn things that you can't learn by just researching it online. People are just in the hallways. You're going to learn things by talking to people. And so Yes, you're drinking from a fire hose, but if you can walk away with 3 things, even though you're learning 100 things that weekend, you're way ahead of the game from all these other writers who have never been to a conference and will never go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that excites me, is that when I look out over the crowd when I'm speaking, I'm seeing all these people that are like, they're serious about their craft. They're paying money to learn.
Mhm.
I talk to so many writers who are like, yeah, I'm writing a book. I'm like, oh, have you ever, are you part of a critique group, or have you been to a conference? What kind of classes no, I don't need any of that. Yeah, so
Yeah, you do.
immediately I think, okay, they're really not serious, and it'll probably get nowhere. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to kind of piggyback off what you're saying, I love about writers conferences, especially Christian, well, this only applies to Christian writers conferences. The relationships that you form are eternal.
Absolutely.
These are our brothers. You're my brother. Cindy's my sister. And those things will be for eternity. So you're
Absolutely.
impacting yourself and them for
Yeah.
more time than we can even imagine. And I love
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah.
I just love that.
Yeah. Sarah is a mentor to me, not kind of. She is a mentor in my writing, and she's taking me to different conferences, and she encouraged me to come to KCWC the first time. And I am very thankful for that encouragement. So I echo that. I really echo the importance of the conferences, and who knows who you're going to get to meet. I was fangirling at one last year because this lady was in a critique group with Francine Rivers. And I'm like, you were in a critique group with, just because, you don't think of someone at that level is still needing a critique group, but they do. They still need that. That's how they get better at their craft. So
for sure. Always learning. Always
exactly.
learning.
Exactly.
Forever and ever. Well, thank you so much, Tez, for joining us today and for sharing a little bit more about what we can expect out of the keynotes and out of Kentucky Christian Writers Conference. And so for those of you out there, please do check us out at kychristianwriters.com. You can find information on scholarship. The application is due in this month, though. So if you're watching this after May, that date has already passed, but you can register for the conference. The early bird lasts through the end of June, so make sure you catch that. And we will see you there in Kentucky in October. Bye.
Bye.